Alright guys, what do you do for storage when you need to carry a couple items on your Sportster Bobber and you don't have much space? Stay tuned, I'm going to show you a simple option. Alright everybody, what is up? As always, thanks for stopping by to another video today. As you can see, we are back here with the Harley Sportster Iron 1200. Still taking a look and working on transforming this thing into a bobber. And today we are talking about storage on your simple Sportster or simple bobber style bike. So obviously the true essence of a bobber, simple stripped down style bike. So you're typically not going to have a lot of storage on there. Most people, you're not going to see like saddlebags or anything like that. So what are you going to do when you need to carry some items or you're going out for a little bit of longer trips on your Sportster or your bobber? You're obviously going to want to have a couple items with you or a place to put a couple things, whether it's like an extra t-shirt or a bottle of water or some tools or something like that. And enter the solution of a swing arm bag. So a swing arm bag is going to be a nice option for you to fit right in here between the swing arm and the frame. We are going to get to a little bit of an installation of this swing arm bag here and talk more about some simple storage options and solutions that this is going to provide for you. So of course, before we get started, let me know down in the comments what some of your simple tips and tricks and solutions are for some of your more simple bikes that don't have a lot of storage options. Obviously, we're taking a look at my Sportster here. Let me know what you guys typically do for your storage on your Sportsters, or just simple solutions for any bike, really. I know a lot of times people can wear a backpack, they can throw your saddlebags on. You've got your sissy bar options here that you can strap bags and everything to. But like I said, drop it down in the comments and let me know some of your simple tips and tricks for simple solutions to storage on a minimalist style bike where you don't have a lot of other options. But before we get started, this is going to be the Kemimoto swing arm bag for the Harley Sportster here. Huge shout out to Kemimoto. They were willing to partner with me on this video for this swing arm bag right here. So they were kind enough to send this out for me to place on the Sportster here. We're going to do an install. We're going to see what all we can fit in here, and then we're going to take a look at the fit and finish of this as well. Again, huge shout out to Kemimoto for sending out the swing arm bag that we're going to put on today. So if you guys have been tuning in for a while, you probably noticed there is something missing here. I did used to have a very similar bag from Viking, the Viking swing arm bag that I used to have placed in here. You can see that kind of left some rough marks on the swing arm and the battery cover right here as I have taken that off. So I had that on there for almost the entire 5 years that I had the bike. I made a video that you guys can go check out if you want to, saying that that's the #1 thing that you should do to your Sportster when you get it, because you really don't have any other options for like some quick, simple storage. That was basically one of the first things I did to the bike, was throw the Viking swing arm bag on there, and it was great to throw a couple tools in, some water bottles when I'm out riding and things like that. But eventually I did have to take it off, because what I noticed after time, and this is not a shot at Viking or anything like that, I do like them. I've got the saddlebags, Patriot saddlebags on my street bob, but it did start to just kind of deteriorate over time. So some of the straps that went into the frame, the way that it kind of sat on the swing arm, just the overall structure of it did start to deteriorate a little bit. The similar Velcro that we had there was kind of not really working so great anymore. So when I got the idea to strip this down into a bobber, I just threw that thing away because it was almost hanging on by just a thread. But now we do have the option here to replace it with the Kemimoto swing arm bag. And so first thing is first with this bag, we're going to open it up. We do have some instructions that I kind of already took a look at. When you get this bag, you are going to get the instructions to show you how to mount it, and then your Velcro mounting straps as well. So this is what is going to tie to the frame through these little slits back here. Next up, as we take a look at the design and the quality and the fit and finish, it feels pretty good, feels pretty sturdy. It is very similar in nature to the Viking bag, but a couple things that I do like is kind of the sturdiness that I'm feeling so far of this. I also like the way that the cover and the top are going to fold all the way over. That was where I struggled just a little bit with the Viking bag. Sometimes I couldn't get it with the design of it. Couldn't get it to fold all the way over. Velcro feels good. Got got the extra closures right here. Let's take a look down in. You've got some high vis here with a little bag. You can throw in like your license, registration, insurance, things like that. We're going to zip there. And just a second after we get this thing installed, we're going to take a look at everything that I like to keep in my swing arm bag. Now there was a little plastic handle right here that I actually kind of ripped off. I didn't like the way it looks, so I just ripped it off. I was like, I don't need it. I'll be opening it this way anyways, so I did take that off there, but you guys could leave that there if you wanted to. Of course, after we get this installed, as you guys watch the video, we will of course drop some links to these items down there in the description of the video if you want to check any of these out, or if you have any questions on the install that I'm going to go through, or on how it functions, looks, feels, anything like that, drop those down in the comments as well. So the first steps to getting this thing installed, it should be pretty quick and simple. We are just going to pop the tabs on the battery cover. Alright, so to get this thing started, we're going to start to thread these Velcro straps through the holes in the back of the bag. Then next thing is we are going to go ahead and try to wrap these around, thread these through this part of the frame, thread it back in through the other hole, and then basically just tighten it up to the frame and Velcro them down in here. So these are the first two that I'm going to do to the frame portion, and then we're also going to have a third strap that we will go ahead and tighten up to the swing arm as well. Alright, so we have those threaded through the bag and then looped around the frame. Now we're going to start to pull them into the other holes. Alrighty, so as you can see now, we kind of have it somewhat mounted in here. We've got the straps going around the frame back into the bag on those two portions. So we're going to Velcro these down and see how it looks. We will have to loosen it up just to get the fuse box and the cover back in, but as simple as that, we're almost done. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, we are pretty much wrapped up here. We've got the battery cover back installed. We have the bag in here. I did opt to go for just the two Velcro straps. I couldn't really get the third one around the swing arm. It wasn't quite long enough, but I don't really think you need it with the way that these tighten up to the frame and Velcro in there. You can see we've got these tied tight and Velcroed. You're going to have a little bit of play with this thing. The Viking bags swing arm one was the same way. You're going to have a little bit of play here, but I'm giving it a good tug. It's not going anywhere. You know, it's going to move around just a little bit, but we'll frequently be in here pulling stuff out to always make sure that these are Velcroed tight. These Velcro straps are different than the Viking bag one. I will say that came with like a clip locking mechanism in here where you pulled it tight and clipped it in. This is just a straight Velcro. Seems to be accomplishing pretty much the same thing. So this gives you a look at it on the bike mounted up. I will have to leave the passenger peg out. If we close it up and take a step back, that's going to give you a more look at it there. We'll give a little bit, just walk around from the back side, kind of from the front side. It looks pretty good, looks pretty sleek, sitting right in there in the perfect spot, just tucked away. It gives you that quick, simple little storage option. I'm happy with the way it looks. We will see how it holds up over time. But now also just want to kind of show you guys the functionality of how I'm personally going to use this thing. So again, easy Velcro flip up. You've got your Velcro covering there. You can just open it up. Here's just some of the simple stuff that I like to keep in a bag like this. I will throw some bungees down in here. This will kind of give you an idea of the volume of what you can fit in here as well. I like to keep a set of Allens. I do a crescent wrench for just a little bit of adjustable flexibility there. I keep a 1/2 inch there because that's usually helpful with some of the throttle and cable adjustments if you ever need to do any of those on the fly. Of course, I like to just keep a little simple knife in there. You never know when you might need that. A little screwdriver, a needle nose, throw that down in there, and then just some simple zip ties here. You never know when something might fall off. Maybe even this bag falls off, who knows, but you never know when you might need to have some zip ties or something like that. So that shows you everything that is down in there now. And the reason I like this is because you've got some of these essential items, but then if you're out and about, you grab a drink, you need to throw water in there, even a small t-shirt or something, you can fit that in here with just this sleek, simple swing arm bag that you can throw on your Sportster, your Bobber, anything like that, you're going to be good to go to put some of those items in here. So let's close this back up now that we've got some weight and some items in there. Test it out, give it a pull, make sure that it's still holding snug there. Another thing that you always want to check out with these swing arm bags, just make sure it's not touching the wheels or rubbing against any moving parts, the brake or anything like that. Looks like we should be good there. It does fit right in there, exactly the same as the Viking bag's swing arm bag. Gives you just another look at the side profile here. Pretty cool, pretty happy with this thing. I'm excited to test it out. So it's nice enough out today. We've already got the bike out. Let's go ahead and pull the Sportster out and take this thing for a quick ride. So yeah, storage is something you kind of always got to consider, you know, whenever you're picking out like whatever bike is best for you. Obviously baggers, tours and stuff, you're going to have all the tour packs, bags and everything, but think about these smaller bikes like some of the Sportsters and the Softails and things like that. You really got to consider like what type of riding you're going to be doing. Like, you're going to be traveling, or you're going to be carrying around stuff, commuting, because eventually if you're doing some of that, you are going to need storage options. Like, that's one thing that I didn't really ever kind of consider about what I was going to do when I got this Sportster Iron 1200. I just loved the bike. I loved the look of it, and I didn't really think about some of that other stuff. And then I start like riding more and more, riding longer and longer, and I'm like, man, you know, I need to like bring some stuff with me. I need some water, I needed some tools in case of emergency, this and that. And that's when I very first got that Viking swing arm bag, which really served me pretty well for a couple years. And then of course I started getting some like bigger bags for traveling, strapped to the sissy bar and everything like that. But I really wasn't sure what I was going to do when I started deciding to kind of transform this into a little bit of a bobber. Obviously riding it, you know, shorter distances, maybe not needing as much storage and things like that. So that's when I decided to get rid of that old ratty Viking swing arm bag. And then that's when Kemimoto reached out and was like, hey, you know, take a look at our stuff, see if there's anything you'd like to work on with us. And I was like, you know, I could probably use another swing arm bag to throw on the Sportster. And that's why I decided to take them up on their offer there and give this swing arm bag a shot. Just from that quick little install and quick little look at it so far, I think it will kind of accomplish everything that I'm trying to do with this bike. Just a simple little subtle sleek option for storage of a couple items. Alrighty guys, just wanted to pull over, give you guys one last look at the bike. Also, nice view of the great city of Philadelphia out there. So yeah, I think the bag is going to serve its purpose pretty well. We got one last look at it right here. Again, kind of just a couple miles, stayed pretty tight and everything there. We'll keep an eye on how it functions moving forward. But again, this is the Kemimoto swing arm bag here. Again, I will drop all the links and a discount code down in the description. If anybody wants to take a look at the bag, use the code, use the links, and go ahead, get yourself a swing arm bag for your Sportster, Bobber, whatever you're riding out there. But that will go ahead and wrap this one up for now. As always guys, make sure you ride safe out there, make it a good one. It's the Moto Jawn. We'll see you all on down the road. Peace.